I started my education in Armavir at the boarding school for blind and visually impaired children, and it was the only way to provide me with the education, because in 1994, when I had to start my studies, we didn't have any inclusive system of education. I had a wonderful Russian language and literature teacher. She was blind as well. But she, always kept saying that you have to join the community for the blind people, because sighted people will never understand you the way the blind people would. As for me, it was the way of self-isolation.
She is, I would say, fearless.
I found her remarkable. I remember trying to talk her into living in the residence hall when she first came here, and she said no, she was going to go find something that fit her budget better. She got on a subway and took herself 3 stops up and found an apartment, and so the next day she's back, and I said, well, I'm ready to help you find an apartment, and she was like, oh, I already did it.
My dream was to attend St. Petersburg Conservatory, but I remember the conversation with one of the deans. It was the phone conversation, but I have been told something like, are you gonna go to the stage with your guide dog, or what are you supposed to do?
She's a brilliant musician. In fact, it's interesting because one of our first lessons, she was doing the music, and she's doing this. And I said, so tell me, what are you doing? She said, well, on this hand, I have the notes, and on this hand, I have the words. And I read them together.
I think that my nature is more, I would say, lyric. I probably can't sing tragic pieces very convincing.
Opera singing is you have to have a lot of courage, because you're producing sound at a level that most people can't even conceive of doing. And she comes in and just lets go and sings amazing high notes. She's not afraid, and she doesn't make a mistake. That's sort of who she is, totally dedicated, not only as a musician, but I think as a curious person in life. And I think that's part of her personality, and I think that's also why her voice is so uniquely free. I've never seen anyone so flawless in their preparation, their musical making, even the words, and how the notes come together. It's astonishing, actually. She should be seen on The Voice or America's Got Talent. They would love her. The crowds would love her. The audiences, the television audiences would go nuts over her. She has that special thing.
To try and to convey anything that you have in your heart, in your brain, to your audience. And believe me, this is the hardest part.